everyone, and
Happy New Year!
We are back on Filtered Brew, our first episode of the new year. Welcome to 2026. Thank you all for supporting us. I think it's the one or two people that do. And there's some family members.
We have to start with one.
I had one lady that reached out, and she said, I would like to see a picture of you two. So that made me think of maybe Unfiltered Brew needs its own social pages.
I do think we need I think we need Facebook and Instagram for sure.
Definitely. So that's going to come to fruition this year. I promise you that. Also, maybe a YouTube channel. We get really fancy.
Would see the faces that we would make, and the time.
Well, we're comical. I know I'm comical in a bad way sometimes, but still,
I wouldn't say bad.
Different. But it's all newness. Everybody's got things they want to do for the new year. Mine has always been, ever since I was alive, born, losing weight. I've always had the struggle with weight and gaining it back. So I have had a lot of research I have had done, and I have done myself on the GLP-1 shots for weight loss.
Okay.
So I finally found a place, MediLoss. It's a chain, but they have a new franchise here, and they're advertising with the radio station I'm with. So I'm going to be doing that, and I got a low dosage of the shot, and this is my first week, really the first 3 or 4 days. So I'm trying to adjust. I think my body is in shock.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's going through like a detox because you're not eating the things that you used to eat, and I'm sure it's just what are you doing to me?
Well, I just started on Monday, and I knew I was going to start on Monday. I knew I was going to get the weigh-in. That was going to be the weigh-in. And so I went crazy on the weekend. I ate a small Barnaby's pizza to myself. It took the whole day.
Was it good?
Oh, yeah. It's just pepperoni and mushroom. So it was, but I took the whole day. It was small. It was small, but still it wasn't that small. And then I think I had carrot cake on Sunday. And then I was all ready to go.
It's like the Last Supper.
It really it kind of was. Because now I have, just the first week I have grilled chicken breasts and cottage cheese and sugar-free gelatin that I just drink like a shot out of the little container. But I needed to do something. There's just something that, you get to a point where you just got to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And it's all about being healthier.
Agreed.
Because I'm not going to, I want to lose weight. But I'm not going to be down to like a size 6 or a size 8. I'm going to be practical about it. I just want to feel and look better.
I think that you're smart by doing it where it's doctor assisted. Mm-hmm. So you're not just doing this on your own. You're not just taking as much of the shot as you possibly can. Like they're administering it. You're being monitored, your blood work, your heart, all those things. Mm-hmm. I think it's okay if it's done that way. I think when people get into trouble is when they just take the shot and they're not watching anything else. And you're doing it on every level. You're watching what you're taking in. You're drinking more water, all the things.
Well, I am trying to. I've never drank so much water in my life, really. I have like the 16-ounce container here. I filled it up 5 times today. Soon to be 6.
That probably helps keep you feel full too.
It does. And since I have a low dosage of the shot, I don't feel a lot of the side effects. I did it first. But then they said, you got to eat some cottage cheese. You got to eat something. You can't have it in your stomach. I don't even
know. What are the side effects?
Nausea, vomiting, dizziness. Not good ones. But, even on a good day when I didn't take the shot, I felt sometimes.
There were days.
There were days. But you're right. I like the fact that I'm just taking the smallest dosage. And the doctor's there and the nurse practitioner and everything is watching me closely. Once a week, I'll go in and get weighed. And I just feel like it's something that I can control.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm not controlling a lot of my life. My personal life still sucks a little bit. I don't know. I don't think I'm using the dating apps right, but that's something else. Well,
we're going to work on that. We're going to work on that for 2026.
Because I don't. Everybody's on there is either fake or they're perverted or they're something. So maybe
it is not for the faint of heart. Dating is not for the faint of heart.
And I get to the point now where I like being by myself a little bit.
Yeah.
But yet I don't want to live by myself. I want to have that someone there that I can do things
That's why
with.
I think you need to find somebody that's like a over-the-road truck driver. Or
Well, then they have all these women, though.
Well, maybe not. Or a guy that's like a conductor on a train to get the best of both
Do they
worlds.
even have those anymore?
Yes, they do.
Okay, I don't want anybody that's like, geriatric. I mean, old. I know I'm not a spring chicken, but even I have my limits on this stuff.
Right? Okay.
But we'll work. Yeah, we'll work on that. But how have you been? You took a trip and everything for New Year's.
Good. Yeah, we did. My son graduated from college, and so I really wanted to do. I'm all about the experiences, so I wanted to do something that really celebrated him. And so we took off. Oh yeah, this is really cool. So we took off the day after Christmas, got up at 6:00 in the morning, and we drove down to the Ark Encounter.
Oh, I saw pictures of that.
Oh, my gosh.
Where is that? Is that a real
It's
Ark?
in Kentucky, right outside of Lexington. It is like a life-size Ark, and it's 2 football fields. It's 3 floors.
So did somebody make that because they had a calling or something? Did Jesus tell them to make this?
Get this, there's local ties to it. So the Troyer Group here in town, they're the ones that helped like design it, and they had to. It's on 800 acres of land, and they haven't completely developed everything, but it was undeveloped, and so the Troyer Group, like they had to run the roads, the electric, the plumbing, like all the things on this land, which was incredible. And so what was really neat was they said that it took Noah between 75 and 100 years to build the ark. Now I don't have that much patience. I don't know how that man did it.
Wow.
But it took the Troyer Group or the construct. They brought in Amish people to do it.
I remember the local news talking about it.
Yeah, and it took them 2 years to build this ark.
Wow.
Yeah, but 2 football fields, 3 floors, and this was the other really interesting thing. I learned so much. Number 1, the Bible never tells you what Noah's wife's name is.
Really?
Nope.
I didn't know he was married.
Nope. They don't know. He was married, and they never tell you what her wife's. They just said Noah and his wife. And they had sons, and they waited until the sons were married, which is why they figured out like that it was 75 to 100 years. And they put up notes that say, they took some artistic license to kind of tell the story, like fill in the it's still very biblical, but to fill in the pieces. But the other thing is, it was so cool was that, okay, so I'm going to ask you, when you see a picture of Noah's Ark and they depict the animals, what kind of animals do you see that go on a Noah's Ark?
The ones I always see zebras and giraffes and hippos.
Wrong. They were all dinosaurs.
What?
So we had not evolved.
Now, who knows this?
Well, this is what they're saying biblically is that at this time, in Noah's time, when all this happened, we are an evolution, right? The animals evolved. The animals had not evolved yet into the giraffe or into the hippopotamus or so they were all like prehistoric.
So they'd be better off just doing a Jurassic Park.
Right, maybe. But some of them, it was just like, it was true life, like just that. Like not the big dinosaurs, but some of them, like they were very scaly and they looked very reptile-ish, but they had not evolved into, yeah. I mean, we thought we'd go and, and we were there 3 or 4 hours.
Really?
Just walking around and seeing what they did.
Did you go in the ark?
Yeah. Yeah, you go into the ark.
What's in the ark?
So they show you like what they believed the inside design looked like. So Noah's woodworking area. I don't know, and I don't know how long the flood lasted either. But it was just like all these little. I mean, I was born and raised Catholic.
Right, me too.
I practice non-denominational now, but to know these stories all, and then just to see how different they were. Wow, it was incredible. So I was so glad we went.
So that was the first part of your trip.
So we went there first, and then we spent the night in Lexington, and we got up the next morning, and we drove into Nashville, and that was a blast.
Oh,
so
Nashville.
Had never been.
Always a good time in Nashville.
Oh my gosh. I got a 23-year-old son, that's single, and to be able to go, and we picked the perfect time to go. We went Saturday during the day, went and did, all the bars up and down the strip. And then we went back on Sunday, and that was fun because the Titans were playing the New Orleans Saints. It was a home game.
Oh, nice.
So there was a whole bunch. We had lunch at Jelly Roll's bar, but he's got like a private place where when he comes into town, like that's where he goes. And so that was really cool to be able to see where Jelly Roll is at. And we went to Kid Rock's. So the cool one was Luke Combs' new bar called Category 10. It's the old Wild Horse Saloon.
Oh, wow.
And so there's a huge stage. That too is 3 floors. They will be very successful. And part of it is that when the bands are changing out, they teach line dance lessons. The dance floor was packed. Like, that's what people want to know. I mean, it was a lot of fun. The weather was great. Oh my gosh, I had my toes out. It was
Really?
like 70 degrees down there. It was perfect.
Beautiful. Nashville's a great place, but you have to have the stamina to put up with all of it because it's a lot to do.
There was
and
a lot
of
to do,
walking.
but it was huge. Yeah.
But there's so much to see, and especially if you're a country music fan. I think I'm going back again, the Country Music Hall of Fame.
We did do that too. And that was so, I mean, there's a huge display of Lainey Wilson right now because, she's so hot at the moment. But it was neat to see. So get this. You have been in country music for a long time. Do you know where the song Elvira came from?
Elvira. No, I should. No, I don't.
So the songwriter was dropping somebody off on Elvira Drive. And he saw that and he's like, that's a really cool name. Like, I really think that. And all of a sudden he just started singing it. And that's where the song Elvira came out of. Was just because it was the name of a street that he was dropping somebody off on. I mean, all of those stories, it was just, but the Country Music Hall of Fame, it was awesome. We walked around there and then we went up to Broadway and it was so fun.
Did you go to the Ryman or anything?
We didn't this time. The last time we were there, we did the Grand Ole Opry. But we did do, and this is, you'll enjoy. We went moonshine tasting.
Really? I didn't. At a regular, do they have a moonshine bar?
So it's called Old Smoky. And they've got, now I've been to the one down in Gatlinburg, but I had never been to this one. And they've got a stage in there and a big screen TV. So it must have been on Sunday because they were going to play the Titans game. And then they had a little area there where you could get like tacos and nachos, and the boys had tacos and they said they were really good. So we go and you do new moonshine tasting. So it's like $10 and it's a little thimble basically of moonshine.
Oh yeah. Moonshine will knock you off your.
Oh yeah. And you got 5 with the opportunity that if you wanted to go to premium, it was $3 more and you went 3 more. Well, the boys did the premium. I did not. However, when I'd done it before, Dan, my brother-in-law, this was, I don't know, 2017, maybe the year Mike died, we had gone to Gatlinburg. And Dan, my brother-in-law, was really good at protecting me. And so there'd be one that he knew and he'd put his hand over my thing and say, she's going to pass on this one because it was like 150 proof. And I'm not a drinker.
Right.
So we go to this one in Nashville and he gives us the first one, which is the strongest one. And the next one is a pickle that's soaked in moonshine. I'm like, and I don't do pickles. So I'm like, no, I'm going to pass. And he's like, okay, that's fine. He grabs another thimble and he goes, and I have a rule. He goes, when you pass on that one, you get a second one of the first one, which is the strongest.
Ooh. I think you were walking a lot.
I was a little happy, let's just say. And I don't know, Tom has maybe seen me like that one time. I'm set.
Now, when you say happy, because you're happy all the time, Kim.
Oh, no, I was like, woohoo! Thank goodness we had lunch reservations at Jelly Rolls because I was like, so I had the first shot, had to repeat the first shot again, and then there were 3 more shots for me to do. And so, oh my gosh, Tom held my hand when we, normally like my arm when we walked out to the car to make sure I got out there okay. And sent these in the backseat going, Mom, you okay? Oh, great.
And didn't he bring a friend with him?
So what happened was, his friend was funny.
How embarrassing.
Well, and his friend so we invited a college buddy of Seth's down. He lived in Southern Indiana, and he was a school teacher. So I said, if he's not doing anything, I'm like, we got plenty of room in the hotel. Have him come down. So he, out of gratitude, he paid for our shots. So then he got Seth's mom drunk. But anyway, so it was fun, And then you learn just to pace yourself, right? Because it's like, we started this at noon. And then you got the whole rest of the day. And,
especially moonshine.
Oh, my gosh.
You got to watch when you start it and when you stop it, hopefully. Because if you don't, you'll lose chunks of time and days.
Well, and the problem is that they make the moonshine not taste like moonshine.
No.
So,
apple pie, candy.
Yes, this one was, the one that I liked was like pecan something or other. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could totally put this over ice cream. It was so good. It was so good. But, oh, yeah. So, no, we had a blast. We got to go Nashville had a big party for New Year's Eve,
Yep,
and it was in
New Year's Eve
Bicentennial
bash.
Park.
Yep.
The New Year's Eve bash. And so we went on Monday during the day. They were setting everything up. They were setting the stages up, and the big music note that they drop at midnight. We got to see that, and there was a big sign that said 2026 that lit up. We literally just milled around there, got all these really cool pictures of them setting up, and everybody, it was us and the crew setting up, and that was it. And they just let us mill around. And I love all of that. So I'm so a behind the scenes person.
Yep.
Like I would have loved more to see that than to actually be there that night with all the people.
To be there is just a mess. I mean,
can't even
because
imagine.
you're just wall to wall people,
Yes.
and you can't move anywhere, and everything. So it's almost better to do what you did. You saw the before, and then you got to watch the after on TV.
That's right. We did. Yeah, we did. I'm like, oh my gosh, we were there. Oh my gosh, we stood right there. So yeah, it was a great. I was really, really, really glad that we did that. I was.
So how long were you there?
You know what? We were there. We got there Saturday afternoon, and Tuesday morning we came home.
Oh, that's a good trip.
And we stopped at Buc-ee's.
I was just going to ask about that. I've never been to one.
We went there twice. So we left Lexington on our way down to Nashville, and like an hour outside of Nashville, there's one. So it was the Saturday between Christmas and New Year's. Oh my gosh. Tom's like, I'm overstimulated. You need to get me out of here. I'm overstimulated. There were so many people in there. But it was amazing. They must have, I would say, between 75 and 100 gas pumps. I did research on it because two of my girlfriends are accountants. The money that they bring in, they pay the bathroom attendants $29 an hour.
Wow. Well, that's an important job.
Are clean.
Yeah.
And they direct people through. But the smart thing that they did, unlike other rest areas, is that there are lights above the doors, and they're red and green. So if somebody's in it, it's red. If it's open, it's green. So that when you get there, and even the bathroom attendant can say, there's one open on the left side, there's one open on the right side. I mean, the inventory that they have, their shelves are so stocked.
So what did you get? Did you buy? I know you got souvenirs.
There, I think I got on the way there. I got a little like Bucky that like clips onto a bag. Just got a little bitty one. And then what else did we get? Oh, we got a sticker because we have a refrigerator in our garage that we get. Right. There's a B100 sticker on it.
Nice.
And so there's a bunch of stickers on it. We didn't do anything that time. Then when we went back, we were an hour outside Nashville. I go to Tom, can we stop at Buc-ee's again? He's like, you want to stop again? I'm like, yes. So we ended up stopping again. Well, this time it was much tamer because it was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot going on. So that day we bought a few more things. My niece house sit and dog sat for us while we were gone. And she loves those fuzzy fleece blankets. So, I bought her a blanket $50 later. I don't even remember what we bought. Breakfast sandwiches and
I was going to ask, did you eat food there?
So they did.
Brisket's supposed to be excellent
there. That's what the boys had. I don't remember what I got when we went down, but the boys each got a brisket sandwich. And then Tom got, when we were leaving Nashville, then we stopped there for breakfast. So I had like a sausage biscuit, I think, and Tom got a brisket burrito. So it was like a brisket breakfast burrito. Say that 5 times real fast.
No, you can't. I would just eat it. And especially in my condition with this, what I'm doing.
Right. And then they had like the little like tater tots, and so I'd gotten some of those and an iced tea, and it was, it's just cool to see. And like I said, the numbers are astounding, and how much money. And so then I Googled or did ChatGPT, like what makes them successful, right? Because as a nonprofit leader, like we're celebrating 20 years this year. I want to be viral like that. I want my store, my place to be that. And they said it was all social media. It really was that it started out. They've been in existence for like 40 years. And the craze came. It was just social media that people were posting things. And that's how the popularity grew.
Well, I think and they have their mascot there and stuff. So it's
I got a selfie with them. So really cool story. So I got
What is Bucky?
Yeah. Huh?
Is Bucky a chipmunk?
A beaver.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. And so he came out, the boys were up front, and Bucky was standing there by himself. I'm like, can we get a selfie? So I got a selfie with him. So I'm walking away, and this girl, I'm in Kentucky.
Right.
And this girl comes up to me. She goes, I love your show. I'm like, you love my show? She said, yes, I watch you every single day. She watches a TV show.
Oh, Hometown Living.
Yeah, she watches Hometown Living. And so I went up to Tom. I'm like, you are not going to believe this.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is my son. Of course you did, Mom. Like, it's no surprise to him that I ran into somebody, but that made my heart happy. We took a selfie too. So
that's nice. Yeah, that is so nice.
Fun. Yeah, it was fun.
So you got back, and then now Seth? He's back at work.
Yes. So he was home from the 22nd. He came home that night and then worked virtually the 23rd, 24th, and then he was off. And then he had to work virtually from home on the 2nd. And then just this past Sunday, then he went back. And, there's just something about having him home, even though he's an adult and he's out with his friends. And, it's just when they leave, it never gets any easy. It just doesn't. The kids were at our house. We went to Trisha's, my sister's house for New Year's Eve, and all the kids came to our house New Year's Eve. And it just makes my heart so happy because this is what Tom and I wanted to create was a space. They've got a basement, that they can go to. He's got all kinds of games down there. We have a Galaga machine down there now. So the kids are loving it.
Yeah.
But, and then it goes away and you're like, oh, I mean, I love the time with my husband. Don't get me wrong. But to have all of those young kids around.
See, there's no young people in my, not really in my family anymore. And that's what's sad is too. It's just was very low key for me for the holidays because there wasn't anybody around. I have a brother and sister-in-law, but they're old.
Yeah.
I'm so much younger. So it's really kind of, I'm almost thinking that I want to maybe do something, some charity work or something. Because I usually take those weeks off, the holiday weeks.
It's fun to do if it's something that you wanted to do and we were blessed by it. The Christmas Commandos.
Yes. Do they still do that?
Yep, they still do that.
They did that for me when my husband died.
Did they? Yep, and they did it. We were down in Gatlinburg, and I had a house sitter at the house, and they did it. So when we came home, the house was decorated, and there was all kinds of stuff underneath the tree. And oh my gosh, I lost it. It was an incredible gift, and I always thought that would be fun to do it because they do it Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And I always thought too, like just being able to do that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, but everybody has to change direction sometime in their life, and until I find my Prince Charming,
he's out there
without the walker would be nice.
How about oxygen? Is oxygen accessible?
Well, does he need it really?
Maybe not.
Well, maybe so, but we're still working on that. But life changes, and get new traditions, and it gets to the point where you just want to I'm staying home more, and I don't like that because I feel very isolated.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But sometimes I just like it.
Yeah.
So, but there are more people doing that. They're calling that what's called a gray divorce.
I heard about that.
Older people are getting divorced. And when I was getting divorced, that's a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Has it really been that long?
Almost. July will be 2 years that we signed the paperwork.
So, about a year. Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember my lawyer saying, I'll meet you at a certain time because I have another client that's coming in. I said, oh, really? She said, yes, she's divorcing her husband. They've been married 58 years and she's 72 years old. She goes, I can't stand living with him anymore is what was the thing. I can't take it anymore. He chews too loudly. He's just, they've been married for all those years, but they raised their kids. Their grandkids are grown. So she wants to have her own life.
Wow.
She wants to,
we talk so much about that, like the transition. I had said, right, like when you have kids that you're told, society tells you your life has to be all about your kids.
Right.
Right. So all of a sudden your life is all about your kids. And in that process, you lose your marriage. Right. You lose the focus on your marriage.
Right. Everything has to go other places. Yeah.
Then all of a sudden the kids go off and they do their own life. And now you're left with this person that's a stranger because you didn't make the marriage a priority. And I said, I really wish society would make it that it needs to be a balance, right? Your kids need to see that you have a happy marriage. They need to see you fight. They need to see you make up. They need to see you communicate. They need to see all of those things. They need to see you go on a date night, right? I think that you need to do all of that stuff. Then when the kids leave, now you have this person that you're excited to be able to have the rest of your life with.
Not this woman. She couldn't get away from this guy fast enough. She goes, all I know is I want the Cadillac. And I don't want the house. He can keep that damn house. She was just, my attorney was just telling me all this. And I said, really? She goes, oh, yeah. It's the great divorce. Older people now are getting divorced and living on their own.
Wow. Because they would just rather be by themselves.
Right. Instead of
but for me, and so I don't know about you, but like when I lost Mike, the one thing I missed was, I missed companionship. And I missed having the person to share those memories with, the history, the history memories that we had. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That one person that you could say, hey, remember when we did this?
Yes.
Remember when this happened?
Yes.
Remember when grandma did that? Whatever. And you do miss that.
Yeah. And I just miss the companionship. I remember it was years ago before I even met Mike. I went to Toronto and I went to the CN Tower, which was the largest standing structure in Northern America. And it was so cool. And I remember like physically like looking over to saying, isn't that cool, to nobody there. And I thought that's when I came home, I'm like, I want to find somebody, which is why I, started to kind of looking when I met Mike. But then I missed that again then, right? When Mike died, then it was, I wanted a companion so that I could have that person to be able to say, look, I want to be able to do this together.
Or it's good to even take on new memories if you have somebody else to bring in, because I find that some of my stories and my experiences, nobody even cares about.
Yeah. I don't know, but I've said to you before that I care. You have so many stories.
No, I do.
You need to write a book.
But I mean, it used to be nice to have a husband that said, oh, you would like that because Keith Urban's there. Or you would like this because or I remember we were backstage with him. He was, or whatever. Yeah. I mean, just things like that, because it's hard. Like with my job, this one guy I thought I was getting along well with. He works in IT. He's an IT guy at one of a nursing home place, but he seemed like a really nice guy, and we were getting along just fine. But then all of a sudden, he would just text me when I was on the air, and he'd say, "Can I hear this? Can I?" It's my job, because I'm an on-air radio personality. Been at the station for 25 years now. But it was, I don't know if it's, and people tell me this all the time, that I don't realize who I am and what I do.
I agree with that.
And I'm not saying that I'm anybody special, but I'm on the air, and I've been on the air for a long time, so people know me, and people respect what we do. And
so he was like starstruck.
Yes. And so he was all talkative and everything when I was on the air working. But then I'd get home and I'd say, hey, what'd you have for dinner? Whatever. Nothing.
Oh.
It was like and then I thought.
Like wanted the radio personality, but not the person.
Right. I don't know. And then so I stopped texting him. So a couple days later he said, oh, so you're done with me now. You think you're so high and mighty of what you do. And I thought, really? I'm not the one. I mean,
yeah.
He asked me what I did, and he knew what I did because he was this. So I can't always say that my job, even though as much as I love it and I love doing it, love doing things for people, love all that, but it sometimes gets in the way.
Sure.
Of meeting a normal person who, I can, my parents were both, I didn't grow up fancy. I have nothing fancy. So it's not just because I'm on the air and on the radio, doesn't mean I have this persona of being a diva.
No, and that's what I love about you, and I love our friendship because of that, because you are the same person on the air that you are off the air. The exact same person.
Same with you. I mean, because frankly, I'm lazy. It's too hard and too difficult to remember what I say all the time if I'm not telling the truth.
You know what? I don't want to put that much energy into be something I'm not. So either take me as I am and goofy and silly and mess it up sometimes. I'm not perfect, or don't take me at all.
So apparently it's done with this guy. So
well,
he just kind of
okay,
faded away.
Know what you don't want is somebody that's inauthentic. You don't want somebody that's gushing all over you. You know what I mean? When it's not real.
No, that's true. And I'm thinking, okay, there's got to be somebody out there who can put up with this, because it's not that. It's a really cool gig, but there are some people that just have it in their minds. And I understand. A friend of mine said, you got to think of it in their perspective. They go to work every day. They live a different life than you do.
Right. But, and I had said, though, too, it's funny because my one friend, we had talked about it, and I said, I'm grateful for Tom. Mm-hmm. And I'm grateful for Tom. He has a normal Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 job, mm-hmm. right? Can you imagine if we were both, like some of these, like I think of Kelly and Mark, right? They're both superstars. Like, right. That's got to come with its own set of problems and challenges, and they're fighting egos, right? Mm-hmm. It's his ego against her ego. And I had said when I had started dating, the biggest thing was I just wanted somebody to enhance me. I wanted somebody mm-hmm. to let me be who I am, right? And the personality. And it does take a certain
It's a big
patience.
Personality we have.
It absolutely. But it also takes that person that is okay with that. Mm-hmm. I can't. There's always a dinner that's interrupted, which I love. I love when people come up and talk to me. I love when they come up and tell me their stories, whether it's through Hello Gorgeous or hometown living. Mm-hmm. We were at a funeral home yesterday, and the lady's like, I watch you every morning. And, it makes me smile. I'm so grateful that I can impact individuals. But it takes a person that is patient, like Tom, to be able to be okay with all of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that special
he's a very
person is
special
out
guy.
there
He's a nice
too.
guy.
Yeah. that special person is out there for you too.
And I'm going to be still looking, but we'll leave it at that for today. I want to just again wish Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you for joining us in 2026, and you can always get a hold of us. You can email me, deb@b100.com. And how can they get hold of you, Kim?
kbecker@hellogorgeous.org.
And soon we'll have our own socials.
That's right.
Unfiltered Brew.
That's right.
And that's one of our goals this year. But again, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you do, make sure you share it and let other people know about it. Have a wonderful rest of your month. We'll be back. Talking love for sure in February.
Yes, we need to.
Oh.
Maybe you'll have a date for Valentine's Day this year.
Oh, boy. Security! Call security! Have a wonderful month. And thank you so much for listening. Unfiltered Brew.
Unfiltered Brew.